People rang me up a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I've got people and a phone and a grasp on the passage of time. Yeah, they rang me up, said, Tim, will you go on Ruth Jones' show? They want you to sing a song. It'll be fine, fine, fine. But the problem with my particular oeuvre is that half my songs are 5 minutes and over. And the wisdom here at the BBC is that viewers switch off if you go past 3. And a lot of my songs have a bit of bad language, which causes the viewers untold anguish. It seems their tolerance for smuttiness is reserved for pussy puns on Are You Being Served? And so I need a song that only goes for 3 minutes without no bums or blasphemy in it. A lovely little song specifically written for the delicate skin of middle-class Britain. I need a song with a chorus and a verse with no nasty-ass cussing and a cussing. I'm a little too lewd and a little too long. I gotta find myself a 3-minute song. And they said, remember, boy, that music is like love-making. It's simply self-indulgent to take it past 3 minutes. Remember, boy, that music is like love-making. Everybody loves the pianist, but length must have a limit. So you need a song that only goes for 3 minutes without no pornography or politics in it. You're a little verbose and a little bit wrong. You gotta find yourself a clean, living 3-minute song. 300 beats at 100 beats a minute with nice clean jokes and a hoedown in it. Something for the telly that never ever fails to appease the viewers of BBC Wales. And even in the bridge, I won't be lyrically adventurous, intellectually unmentionous, or racially contentious, and I won't make double entendres at the expense of the Chinese. For China is a country that can bring me to my knees. For China, for China, for China, for China, for China is a country that will bring us to our knees. Ooh, Mr. Humphreys, my pussy is all wet. 2, 3, foreskin. I need a little happy clappy country song, nice and repetitive and not too long, boring enough but not too boring, with a key change here to prevent me snoring. I need a song that is only 3 minutes without no buggery or blasphemy in it, something with a pleasing rhyme and rhythm. Well, if you can't beat 'em, get conservative with 'em. To flog more tickets to my concerts by convincing the viewer that musical satire hasn't progressed since Victor Borge. You've got a telly and I wanna be in it, and apparently you'll only watch for 3 minutes. Yeah, apparently you'll only watch for 3.
These scars long have yearned for your tender caress, to bind our fortunes. Damn what the stars are. Rend my heart open, then your love profess, a winding, weaving fate to which we both atone. You flee, my dream come the morning. Your scent, berries tart, lilac sweet, to dream of raven locks and twisted stormy, of violet eyes glistening as you weep. The wolf I will follow into the storm, to find your heart, its passion displaced by our ever-growing, hardening into stone, a it's the cold to hold you in a heated embrace. You flee, my dream come the morning. Your scent, berries tart, lilac sweet. To dream of raven locks and twisted stormy, of violet eyes glistening as you weep. I know not if fate would have us live as one, or if by love's blind chance we've been bound. The wish I whispered when it all began, did it forge a love you might never have found? You flee, my dream come the morning. Your scent, berries tart, lilac sweet. To dream of raven locks and twisted stormy, of violet eyes glistening as you weep.
Good morning, everybody. How we doing? How we doing? We feeling good? We feeling lively? Are our hearts alive with the passion and fire of 1,000 suns? Hopefully. Sorry, I forgot to respond to a bunch of Discord messages. Well, I didn't forget. I typed out responses, but then I didn't hit send. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Hello. Oh, man. I am worried I'm getting a little sick because my voice and my throat's a little, like, clogged up. I don't know. Hopefully it's not sickness. Hopefully not. Lucky, good to see you. Was it Witcher? Yes, that's Priscilla's song from the Witcher 3 original soundtrack. Do recommend. Let's see. Allergies, maybe. It is that season. Makes sense. Oh, it's this cold that it's taking me 2 weeks to get rid of it. Yeah, I mean, I've been sniffly for a while. I figured that was allergies, but then Lockie got sick, and I was like, okay, maybe it's just a sickness going around. I don't know. But we're here now. We're here, and we're vibing, and we're living our best life. Today, we're going to run through a handful of little news stories. There's some exciting news on the Activision front, depending on who you are. So we'll touch on that, talk about that. They dropped some info on the new crazy ray tracing stuff they're bringing not just to Cyberpunk, but also to Elden Ring. I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently that is a thing. And then also Resi 4 Remake dropped. Digital Foundry dropped an analysis of it. I will be playing that today. I'm going to try to get through it over the course of the weekend by the end of Saturday, tomorrow. That's the goal. However, for most of that playthrough, just a heads up, we'll be playing it over on Twitch because YouTube does not really like gameplay focused streams. So if it sounds interesting to hang with us while we play Resi 4, go follow the Twitch, just at Luke Stevens TV. So we'll probably be jumping on that pretty much the moment we wrap up here on YouTube, which is kind of cool. Oh, it's the Twitch. I don't have a Twitch command. That's hilarious. Hold on. Of course I don't have a Twitch command. Here we go. There you go. Man, YouTube hater for real. Yeah, dude. Hardcore. When's the Hogwarts Legacy full critique coming out? Jacob is rendering the last version of it. Hopefully the last version of it today. But recently Premiere, for some reason, has been doing this weird thing where sections of audio will just stop. So voiceover will cut out, but then the rest of the audio is fine. It's really, really weird. I've never seen anything like it, and I've made a lot of videos with Premiere, so I don't know what the deal is, but we're gonna try that, and hopefully it works. But it's one of those things, like, it's a multi-hour video, but to make sure that it's not glitching out, I think we're gonna have to, like, I'm gonna have to go through and listen and watch the whole thing start to end, which is annoying, but it is, I mean, it is what it is. That video is like stuck in development hell. Dude, I can't pin messages. Of course you can't. You should know that by now. You should, here, I can pin mine with the Twitch link there. Of course you can't. Yeah. YouTube mod tools are hilariously bad. Anyway, so yeah, but it should be rendering out today. Any members of the either YouTube channel will get access to that critique early. Hopefully it's relatively engaging. I'm just excited to be done with it. Every once in a while, like, we made those 5-hour videos on Cyberpunk, The Last of Us Part 2, God of War. We've made massive videos on those. And those were way easier to put together than this Hogwarts one has been. This one's been a nightmare, and I don't know why. So, I don't know. Oh, now my chat's not updating. Come on. Live chat. Boop. Okay. There you go, Rocky. Boom. Happy birthday, Luke. I wish it was birthday. Or wish it was my birthday. That'd be fun. I enjoy the bokeh depth of field on this stream. I'm glad. It used to be more severe. I don't know if you... No, I don't think I did stream it. At one point, I got a lens that was like f.9. That thing was dumb. I kid you not. So like on this lens, the range of depth of field focus. So like here I'm in focus. If I lean back, I'm still in focus. Now I'm starting to go out. And then here in focus in the center. If I lean forward, I'm just now going out. But here I'm probably still in. So it's probably like 8 to 10 inches of depth that I can be in, my face can be in, and still be in focus enough. On that f.9 lens, I kid you not, it's like 2 inches, maybe an inch. Like, I would be sitting like this with my eyes in focus, my nose out of focus, my ears out of focus. Like, if I shifted forward like this, I'm completely out of focus. It was not practical at all. But it looked silky. It was very, very soft, but it looked ridiculous. I'm going to be real. It looked pretty stupid. Anyway, how's everybody doing? We got, of course, Rocky in here. I do want to say thank you to Post Ashley for becoming a member, a show-off member, by the way. Not just a regular member, a show-off member. And that happened at 9 a.m., so like an hour before we went live. So thank you, Post Ashley, for that. That was very, very generous. Appreciate you. Crimson, Sean's in here. Good to see you, Sean. Roddy, Rody, Joanne Jobs, Bad Done Well, Caitlin. Oh my God, YouTube chat, chill out. I click on anything and it like flags stuff. Let's see. Prince, Joran, maybe. Bad Done Well. I just saw that one. James, Lucky Trapped, Christo, Nick, Jeremy, Whippy, of course, Dardar, Jammy, Refnir, Molly. You found your pet rock. I'm glad. Thank goodness. Oh, that's keeping me up. Jeremy, good to see you. Jay, good to see you as well. Steffi, like I said, always good to see you. Oh man, it's good stuff. Apparently it was NASA glass that Kubrick used in order to capture the candlelit atmosphere of the plays, film it practically, of course. Kindle app appear PS. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. I was like, wait, my brain. Oh man. Have you been told that you look like a cool dude? Not that, no. People usually say I give them the vibes of both Saul Goodman and Paul Rudd at the same time, and I don't really know what that means, but I like both of those people, so I'll take it as a compliment. I'll take it. Let's see. Okay, I have a massive question, but I don't think we can discuss it here. Well, man, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's like there's something super serious and crazy important we have to talk about, but not here. After you announce it publicly, you can't do that. Oh man, is Saul Goodman a compliment? I mean, if they said that my business vibe was like Saul Goodman, or that I seem like a Saul Goodman type or character, then yeah, like you're kind of a slimy lawyer, I could see that being a problem. But if they just say that like I remind them in terms of voice and tone as Saul Goodman, I'm fine with that. That's whatever. Plus, I'm a YouTuber, so I mean, I'm shocked that more people don't have negative opinions of me. Let's be real. Am I allowed to play Whippy Ice whilst you stream? Oh, of course. Of course. Play that Diablo all the way. What do you think about Unreal Engine 5.2? I think it looks freaking badass. It's insane. I don't know how practical it is because like they show that dynamic drop stuff where you can take a big cliff face, move it over here, and then it dynamically adjusts to all of it. That's cool, but I don't know how practical that is, or if that's something that only happens with assets that Unreal has built, because it does start to get to the point where you have to wonder, okay, like if I was developing a game and I wanted to do that, what would I have to do to make that work? Like, would I have to go in and script all this stuff, add in multiple assets, program in the contextual stuff, where it's going to take, weeks of programming just to get it working for me to be able to just drop and place it, and then it contextually fits. But I don't know if that's as practical as just placing it in the world and spending, instead of 2 weeks programming it, spending a week just putting a log up and some vines to make it look like it blends, So I think there's a question of practicality. But that's one thing I don't know. I won't pretend to know how that works on the game dev side, so I have no idea. But it is something that I thought of where I was like, I don't know how practical it actually is. It's super cool, but I'm not sure how practical it is. Opinion. Oh, James, thank you for the £2. Opinion on the Crysis trilogy and the GOAT Nano Suit. I've never played through all of the Crysis games. I'm gonna be real. I just never really got around to it. Never seemed like there was a big need to, other than the meme of can it run Crysis? It being a really demanding game and graphically way ahead of its time. I think that's cool, but I've never gone through them. I should, though. I should. Most people say they're really good games. Makes unexpected comment about something's Monopoly. You want to tackle this? Oh, boy. Let's see this. I guess I can just... That's funny. So I guess let's talk about this. Let's do this. So, you guys may, I guess let me start without the Witcher music. You guys may have heard some of the news that dropped this morning. I will be real with you, okay? I've had the feeling for a while that this deal with Activision was probably going to go through. I mean, let's just be real. Microsoft is like a $2 trillion company. They have some of the best lawyers in the world. They're going to figure out a way to make this happen. And also, the case Microsoft is making is a lot better than the case that Sony is making, okay? Basically, Microsoft wants to acquire the largest publisher in the world, if you're not counting Tencent and PlayStation as publishers, but as something bigger than that. Activision Blizzard's one of the biggest, certainly. And it's a $70 billion acquisition. And Sony's argument as to why Microsoft shouldn't be allowed to buy it is because it will make Call of Duty exclusive eventually. And with that being exclusive, it will decrease competition because then Sony won't have access to that series. Which is just a really dumb argument, okay? I've said before, I'll say it again. There are real concerns with Microsoft coming in and just paying $70 billion for the biggest publisher out there. And that just automatically, ultimately, boom, Call of Duty's exclusive 10 years from now, and all of their mobile games, boom, Xbox titles, all of this, like, that's insane, and we should be worried about that. Yeah, 69 billion, but I mean 70 billion. By the time all is said and done, there probably are extra fees to take it to 70, but that's concerning. That is concerning. I will grant you that. Sony, though, doesn't have a good argument, mainly because Sony is guilty of everything they're accusing Microsoft of doing. So it's really just not very compelling to hear Sony go, exclusive titles are bad for the industry. Meanwhile, they're releasing a fleet of exclusive titles nonstop. So regulators are like, what? But you're doing the same thing. Like, if you were coming out here and you're like, no, we only, like, if Ubisoft, I don't know, Ubisoft does cross-platform stuff across the board, right? Everything they do is cross-platform. And if they came out and said, listen, we don't like this deal because it's going to decrease competition, that would be far more convincing than Sony. Because clearly Sony has a vested interest in this not going through. Because Sony is going to have access to Call of Duty. But if you guys remember when we looked at the articles breaking down the offers that Microsoft had made, the offer was basically that they could buy Call of Duty at wholesale price per unit and then offer that on PlayStation Plus. What that means is, like, they would be buying it, my understanding is, for the same wholesale price that major distributors would be getting it for, that Walmart and Target would be buying units for, in order to sell, maybe discounted $5. Very small margins to get it actually sold. And so Sony is going to have to pay ridiculous sums. They'll be making a heck of a lot less money than they have been off of Call of Duty. Because as of right now, every time you buy a copy of Call of Duty on PlayStation's store, it's like a 30% charge that goes straight to PlayStation, just for facilitating the sale. Now that's pretty much all going to go away. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. It'll go away eventually, should I say. It's not going to go away overnight, but Sony is trying to look long term down the road, and they're seeing major issues and concerns. So all of this to say, Sony's never really had a very good argument, and it's always kind of felt like it was just, I don't like it. I don't like it. Don't do this. Don't buy them because I don't like it. And that's just not very convincing to regulators, especially when Microsoft can come in and show that PlayStation is the number one in the world gaming company in terms of revenue, followed by Tencent and then Xbox. Xbox is in third place. So if you're saying that Microsoft's coming in and is going to become monopolistic, it's kind of tough to argue that while also being the number one. Like, they're the ones leading the industry. So it's kind of weird for you to argue that all of a sudden this is going to make your job more difficult when you're the one in power and in control. You know, it's just kind of a bad look, because it makes Sony look as though they're trying to get this deal shut down because it's going to affect their monopoly, which is fundamentally, I mean, it's basically what it's going to do. So what's this news? What happened? Well, my friends, well. There's been a series of developments, okay? First things first, 3 days ago, Tom Warren put this out. A judge has dismissed the gamers' lawsuit against Microsoft filed to try and stop the Activision Blizzard deal. They said, quote, the complaint does not plausibly allege the merger creates a reasonable probability of anti-competitive effects in any relevant market. Basically, if you're not familiar with this, basically a group of gamers went on and then tried to sue Microsoft to block the deal, saying that from the gamers' perspective, this would be anti-competitive, blah, blah, blah. And the judge looked at it and was like, GTFO, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I mean, they're like, this really is just not a good deal. And plus, the danger with this, that's kind of a big deal, is that whenever the U.S. justice system is based a lot on precedent. Nobody wants to be the first one that goes out there and does something drastic or crazy different. So it's a big deal when a judge orders something directly in line with another big case that's happening. In this case, what happened is this judge came along and said, nope, I don't find, and bear in mind, this is like a circuit or a district judge. So like it's a big deal for this judge to order this, and basically said, no, there's no clear convincing evidence that this would actually negatively affect gamers in any way, that any other acquisition or merger would affect gamers. So dismissed it. Boom. I believe they also dismissed it with prejudice. Granted, leave to amend, without prejudice. Section claim is premised on a reduction in competition. It is dismissed without prejudice for lack of standing. The difference is, in the U.S. justice system, when something's dismissed with prejudice, it means that you cannot like bring it to the court again. So like they'll have sovereign citizens who, for example, sue constantly saying like, I should be paid $500 million because I was arrested for driving without a driver's license. And the judge can come out and just be like, no, we're dismissing this with prejudice. This was filed in bad faith. So they dismiss it so it can't go any further and you can't refile it, basically. Without prejudice just means that theoretically you could file another lawsuit if they came back with more evidence or, try it again. But the judge was just not having it. So that was something that happened that was like, okay. Filed March 20th. So 4 days ago. The news broke 3 days ago. Interesting. Well, something else happened 6 hours ago. This was also funny. This is what Rocky just sent me. 6 hours ago, a U.S. senator calls out Sony for its monopolistic practices in the high-end video game market and asks what can be done about it. Maria Cantwell, who is this? I don't recognize this name. Senator from Washington, really, since 2001. I don't really recognize her. I'm gonna be real, but I don't live there, so I guess it makes sense. Your website doesn't have a picture of you. Is that not weird? Issues, photo. Hold on. News. Photos. What does she look like? Website's totally broken. Oh God. Oh, our country's run by boomers. Okay, well this is her. Okay. So she came out and stated this. What she said was, let's see, do they have the exact quote? I guess not. Really? What the hell is this article? Are they not gonna? Okay. Here, it was during a Senate Finance Committee hearing on the president's 2023 trade policy agenda. U.S. Democratic Senator Maria Cantwell criticized Sony for some of its behavior in Japan. Quote, I'm told that Sony controls a monopoly of 98% of the high-end game market. Pointing out that the Japanese government has permitted the company to engage, quote, in anti-competitive conduct through exclusive deals and payments to game publishers. Cantwell also stated that Japan's FTC has, quote, failed to investigate these exclusionary conducts. Yeah, no, I would agree. It is really funny that Sony's crying foul about all of this, and then in Japan they do totally have a monopoly, except like Nintendo's big there. But you look at the numbers of like Xboxes sold in Japan versus PlayStations, and it's not even close. And in the US there would be a major concern, like, okay, how do we deal with this? How do we get Xbox to be more involved in this market if it's 98% dominated by one company. Japan doesn't really care. They don't really care because it's a Japanese company. Sony is a Japanese company, so they're glad that a Japanese company is dominating a Japanese market. Like, of course, who cares? They don't care. So this dropped like 6 hours ago. This discussion was during the early morning hours. I mean, this was posted yesterday. Or the discussion happened yesterday and it was posted early this morning. But again, whenever a major political figure makes statements that directly tie and are about a given ongoing issue, especially with regulators, it can have an effect. And what's the big news? What's the big Chungus update? Well. One of the, or probably the biggest roadblock in the Activision deal so far has been the CMA. The CMA is the Competition Markets Authority in the UK. And basically their job, it's kind of like the FTC here in the States, where their job is to ensure fair market activities. Their job is to look over acquisitions and mergers, make sure everything is working properly and that there aren't issues. Well, they've been a little iffy on this deal going forward. Sony has spent millions of dollars lobbying and basically trying to get them to shut the deal down. Now, I'll be completely real with you. I'm not going to overstep my bounds and pretend like I know things I don't. I don't know what would happen if the CMA declined the deal, said, nope, we're not approving it. You can't do it. And if the FTC approved it, I don't know what would happen, because then you'd have the US saying it's cool, and then you'd have the UK saying it's not. But Activision's an American company, Microsoft's an American company. Why should anyone care what the CMA says about it? I don't know. My guess is there would be issues or sanctions or something, or tariffs, extra taxes, something like that in the UK as a result of it. But I don't know. I don't know what would happen. But what we do know is that it would be a heck of a lot easier if they just approved it. Be a heck of a lot easier. They would have Activision publish under another entity in the UK. Okay. Interesting. Just another shell of a company to handle all of the operations. It would be very tedious. So they'd really like it to just go through. But I mean, even if the CMA said no go, they still probably would end up buying them and dealing with it. It would not be that big of a roadblock. But Sony's trying everything they can to stop it. And then this happened today. What happened is that they issued updated provisional filings in their assessment of Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard. The final reports are still due by April 26th, meaning that I would guess the deal probably is approved or not approved sometime in May, I would assume. And so it could be closing May or June, somewhere in there. But basically what they found was that one of their key provisional concerns, that the deal would harm competition if Microsoft made Call of Duty an Xbox exclusive, has now been addressed and is no longer an issue. And that was really the only major hurdle, was Sony saying they're going to make Call of Duty exclusive, which is going to be bad because then we won't be able to put the game on PlayStation. And Xbox is coming out and saying, listen, we're giving them access to it for 10 years. They are the biggest publisher in the world in the gaming space. They have time and money and resources to create a competitor. They could do it within a decade. And that's true. If Sony wanted to make it a priority to create a Call of Duty competitor, they could do it. Maybe they go back to Killzone or something. I don't know. But they could do it within 10 years. They just don't want to do it because that's stupid expensive, and they'd rather just let Activision do it and then take their 30% cut, right? So it's a little crazy. Who's to say Xbox would offer them another contract after 10 years? Maybe they would, especially because it looks like their licensing deal would be very lucrative because they'd basically be selling it at full price. And that might be what Xbox does. They have the option after 10 years to open it up again. You never know. You never know. Let's see. They go on. Sony's, this is really, really funny. Okay. The CMA's updated provisional findings show an improved understanding of the console gaming market and demonstrate a commitment to supporting players and competition. Activision Blizzard spokesperson told IGN. They went on to say, quote, get ready for this, Sony's campaign to protect its dominance by blocking our merger can't overcome the facts, and Microsoft has already presented effective and enforceable remedies to address each of the CMA's remaining concerns. We know this deal will benefit competition, innovation, and consumers in the UK. Martin Coleman, the CMA's chairs of the independent panel of experts conducting the Activision Blizzard deal investigation, said, quote, having considered the additional evidence provided, we have now provisionally concluded that the merger will not result in a substantial lessening of competition in console gaming services because the cost to Microsoft of withholding Call of Duty from PlayStation would outweigh any gains from taking such action. The final verdict should still arrive by the end of April, he added. I mean, that's a big deal. It's a big deal. And as a result, I mean, if I just go ATVI, you see this? Trading at $79 yesterday. Boop. Jumped up like 5%. And that's purely this, as I've said, since they announced this attempted acquisition. They were trading down here. They announced that they wanted to be bought, or they were going to be bought by Microsoft, and they shot up towards 80, 79, 80. They lost a little confidence back in like October, November, dropping down to 70 just about. And then they've started to rise back up because this is purely an indicator at this point of the deal going through. The closer to $95 this is, the closer to 100% confidence investors have. So it's only becoming more and more likely. And you know what? You want to know something really, really stupid? Okay, I've always said, like, if I ever own shares in a gaming company, I will tell you because I want to disclose all of these things very clearly. I don't want to be doing one of those things where I'm like hyping something up and then it turns out in 6 months you find out that, oh, Luke secretly held all that stuff. If I talk about Ubisoft, I don't own shares of Ubisoft. And if I do somehow own shares of Ubisoft at that time, I communicated at the very, very beginning of the video. Same with any other company, because I have a platform and I'm not going to be doing one of those pump and dump things. I always disclose my positions. It's funny. Last night I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure this Activision deal is going to go through. I'm going to try to buy some shares of Activision Blizzard because I want to be able to just pocket the extra cash in between and I'll be happy. Why not? It's basically free money. If you buy Activision Blizzard right now at $83 a share and the deal goes through, you're just going to make $11.50 a share for doing literally nothing. Just if you buy 10 shares, you make $11.50 on each of them. Like, who doesn't want an extra $100 for doing actually nothing, So I was like, oh, I'll just do that. So I plopped in and I submitted an order for like a couple dozen shares of Activision Blizzard. And guess what? Overnight, this happened. And so I put in the order to be placed at like $79 a share. And then the order goes through at like 85 at market opens, or 84, 85, I think is what it was. It's like at $84 right at market open. So I woke up to the trade confirmation having gone through. And I was like, oh, that's way more. Did I get ripped off? Thanks, Fidelity. And I checked, and then I was like, oh no, overnight this thing dropped, making it way more likely. So if I had just bought it like 4 hours earlier, I would be sitting even prettier now, already up 5%. But you know what? I still can make a good chunk of change with it as is. So it just is what it is. Not financial advice, of course, but if the deal goes through, it's just a free $11.50 a share for doing nothing. Like, why not? why not? Anyway. So yeah, that was my fun little thing. Are you putting in market orders, Luke? Not usually. I will say, don't put in market orders if you can help it. Especially, God, don't put market orders in Robinhood. Robinhood will rob you blind, especially options. If you try to buy options at market, it just, dude, it's bad. AC Red updates? Nope, nothing. I got nothing for you. I'm very sorry. Yeah, no, I've been waiting on stuff, and I haven't heard anything. Hold on, I have some funny little things to show you that I found on Twitter. And I'm just going to play these because I find them really, really funny. And maybe you won't, but I find this really entertaining. Here. Okay, you ready? Leaked audio of Jim Ryan calling into Xbox HQ.
You don't understand. Why is you doing this, bro? I've been doing shit all day, bro. And you playing you no matter what, bro. I don't... Bro, please, bro. Why are you
PlayStation.
PlayStation. This was the other one. Jim Ryan in court trying to salvage any of the remaining concessions now that the regulators are siding with Microsoft about the ABK acquisition. Bear in mind, Microsoft made a lot of offers to Sony to get them to go along with this, and Sony turned all of them down. And then the COO of Activision Blizzard came out after the fact and said, yeah, no, in our closed door meeting, when we met with Jim Ryan, he said, I don't give a shit about your offers. I just want to keep this deal from going through. And now the deal's probably going through. And so they're probably going to be going back to Microsoft like, hey, can we have any of those concessions, please? Can you come back with us? You know, it's like, you know, it's like when you're playing Monopoly and say, like, the most annoying person at the table owns Boardwalk and you really want Boardwalk. So you offer them like 2,000 and they turn it down so smugly. No, I'm not selling you this for 2,000. Okay, I made the offer. Okay, and you keep playing. And then that person gets in financial straits because they land on your Monopoly with a hotel and everything. And they land on them in a row and they're losing all their money. And they come back to you and they're like, listen, I need that money to pay this rent. Otherwise, I'm going to go bankrupt and I'll be out of the game. I'll sell this to you for 2,000. Guess what? The price just dropped. You're not getting it for 2,000 now. You're not. I might give you $200 for it. You know, because you're now, the power position swapped. You need the 200 way more than I need Boardwalk. And, you know, you should have taken it while you had the chance. Pro strat, flip the board. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. It's just, but that's how it works. That's how the game works. If you're in the power position, which PlayStation was when Microsoft was making all of these offers, trying to get them on board with the deal for regulators, if you're in the power position, you can afford to say no and be like, no, we're just going to keep the deal from going through. But the moment that the power switches, now the person who was in power just seems like they're groveling. And that's what this is.
Say I'm sorry for the things I've done, and I try and be stronger in this life I chose, but I want you to know that door I closed. In your honor, I'm sorry. I want to say I'm sorry.
Bear in mind, this guy is in court. It's a funny meme, But this guy's also in court about to be sentenced, and he starts say, do you have anything you want to say to the court and to the victims of the crime? He starts singing, I'm sorry. Oh man, it's so good. Meanwhile, David Jaffe had a really, really good take on this that I just want to let play because I think he put all of this very, very well and explained a lot of it.
But you know, I understand why they would be opposed to it. But when you actually listen to what Microsoft's saying, and then you hear Sony, you're like, what are you arguing? You're not arguing a good case other than you just don't like it. You know, and that's fair. I respect that. I've said Jim Ryan to me seems like I have a lot of respect for Jim Ryan. If I was in Jim Ryan's job, even it was really fascinating to hear Pachter talk about Sony in such negative terms as a company in terms of them being just idiots and jerks, and I forget exactly what he called them, but it wasn't kind. I look at Ryan and I'm like, if I was Jim Ryan, I'd do the same thing. I would do everything in my power. I would humiliate myself on the world stage or on the console world stage, which he has. He is literally, not literally, but he has figuratively taken his testicles, cut them off, and buried them somewhere in the sand that he may never find again. He looks like a fucking loser. And he makes Sony's developers, who are probably they're definitely some of the best in the world, may very well be the best in the world, look like they can't hang with the big dogs of Infinity Ward. What are you talking about? Right? Of course they could. Not to mention Bungie, which they could, bring on to do a shooter. So even though, like I said, I do the same thing because he's like, I don't have a pot to piss in when it comes to the logic of this deal, but I'm going to do everything I can to block it because that's my job. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that leadership, even though I think he's going to fail because he should fail because he doesn't have a good argument. What he should do is should go back to his people and say, look, we got Call of Duty for 10 more years, and we're going to take a bath for the next 10 years because we're going to have to pay an exorbitant licensing fee to put it on PS Plus. Because if we don't do that, we're really screwed because then people will start thinking of Sony as the box you pay and Xbox the box you get for free. Psychologically, I know it's not free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I agree. Like, but the perception, and as I've said before, perception is, in the world of publicity, perception is far more important than reality. If somebody's actually a really sweet person, but the perception is that they're a prick, they're going to be viewed as a prick. Like it doesn't really matter what the truth is. The perception is that you are a prick. In the same way, like if the perception is that somebody is a bigot, but in reality, they're not a bigot at all. They've just been like smeared in this way. Then it doesn't really matter because the perception is all that really counts in the world of publicity. And in the case of this generation of PlayStation games, the perception is that Sony is more interested in trying to screw up Microsoft's plans for Game Pass and for Activision Blizzard acquisition than they are with creating the best games and providing the best value to their player base. And I think that that's pretty clear. I mean, unless you're a Sony brony and you are going to start special pleading out the ass, there's no way to really flip it. Because the whole narrative for the last 2 years has been that their priority is to stop Activision Blizzard joining Xbox and to basically flip on the perception of Game Pass being the best value because they tried doing the Game Pass thing with PlayStation Plus collection and all of that stuff, and they gave up on it, and now they're like pulling games from PlayStation Plus, backing out of it because they realized, you know what, no, we're just going to be the company that you pay $70 a title for, and then Microsoft can do whatever else they want. Honestly, we might come to the day where Microsoft signs deals with major publishers like Warner Brothers, like think of Hogwarts Legacy or something, where they go in and they say, listen, we'll sign a deal where Game Pass members can get access to Hogwarts Legacy for $10 instead of $70, and we'll basically pay the difference, or Game Pass's revenue will pay the difference. So basically, again, the perception is that PlayStation is horribly overpriced, that they're all about just milking their customers dry. And then Xbox is the pro-consumer side. Xbox wants you to play more games for less. And once that's the perception, it's really hard to undo that. It's really, really hard. Microsoft could just buy 40% of Sony. Not really. I mean, they can make an offer, but once you go over, I don't know what it is in Japan, but in the US, once you go past a certain threshold of owning a public company, I think it's like 5%. It's subject to regulatory stuff. And anytime that a major company is going to try to buy shares of their competition, it's probably not going to be allowed. Jim Ryan also seems like a bit of a prick. Honestly, my perception, again, perception is more important than reality. My perception is that Jim Ryan is not even a gamer. My perception is that Jim Ryan is a businessman, and he is really good at that, which is why he's running a multi-billion-dollar business. But that his job and the reason he's where he is because he is a great businessman. He doesn't really care that it's about video games. He's just handling the business side of things. Whereas Sean Layden, I mean, you follow Sean Layden on Twitter, constantly posting pictures of the games he's playing, the stuff he's doing. You listen to Phil Spencer interviewed at any given time, and he's always talking about what games he's playing and all of this stuff. He's traveling around to all of the different studios and play testing the different games. He just was at Ninja Theory play testing the new Hellblade game. You know, like he's a gamer. He's a gamer. I don't get the perception at all that Jim Ryan is a gamer. And little bitty things like him not showing up to the Game Awards. Like Jim Ryan, or I think he was he there? He didn't go on stage. I don't remember if he actually was there, but the perception is that he's not, so who cares? Whereas Phil Spencer like made it known he's there. He's shaking hands, taking pictures, doing like stuff on stage, but no, Jim Ryan, nope. It's like when you have like a breakup and you're like, oh, my ex-girlfriend's going to be at that event, I'm not going to go. That's Jim Ryan. He just seems like the groveling loser. And again, even if he's not that, the fact that the public now will have the perception, oh, he's the guy that was running PlayStation and couldn't get the Activision deal prevented. Oh, it's bad. I don't know for a fact if anything will come of this in terms of PlayStation leadership. If I were one of the head honchos in charge of Sony, honestly, I probably at this point would bring in a new head of PlayStation Global and just be like, okay, once the Activision deal goes through, if you did fail, you got to go, Jim. Because the perception then is that the leader of PlayStation is a loser, and he tried his best, but like Jaffe said there's just not only so much you can do. I mean, they didn't have a good argument, and the deal was pretty sound to begin with, so it's probably just gonna go through. Oh, what's this? Sony's anti-competitive conduct around Final Fantasy XVI questioned by a U.S. senator. Suffice it to say, Sony's moves to block Microsoft's purchase of Activision may have already backfired in a big way. Again, if you're going to come out and be like, hey, exclusivity sucks, you got to be ready to like eat it and take it if you're going to dish it out. Which is why it's like, honestly, again, I've seen people in the comment section go like, Luke, you're clearly an Xbot. Chill. Dude, I have 3 PlayStation 5s in this house, and I was about to buy a PSVR 2 just to prove the point that it's not a good value right now. Okay, like I like Sony stuff. I play a lot of Sony games. I love Sony exclusives. I love all those games. They have some of the best developers in the world, but I can call them out when they do something really, really stupid, okay? How come you only love me? Yeah. Defeater eater. Yeah, well, so what you're saying is, like, I don't know many Xbots that have, like, 3 PlayStation 5s. Like, chill out. That's where all the PlayStation 5s went? Yeah, sorry. Sorry, everybody. Jesus. Thank you, by the way, to... Hold on. It's all delayed. Oh man, I missed a bunch. Carl, if you're still in here, thank you for re-upping your membership. Why aren't my sounds going on? Thank you for re-upping your membership. 3 months. Booyah. And Whippy Ice, thank you for the £2. Money, have some, goddamn you. Okay, Whippy. Okay. Thank you, Whippy. I appreciate you. Let's see. Okay. Let's see, Mark. I feel the quality of PlayStation games justify the price in comparison to Xbox exclusives so far. I would generally say I'm okay spending $70 for a phenomenal world-class title that comes once a year. Like, I'm okay with that. But I'm not okay with, like, I think, well, it's not that I'm not okay with it. I just, you have to be able to call out the PlayStation is, why is it so quiet?
All sense. Off to work, guys. We'll be listening in the
Oh,
car.
geez,
Love your
Sean.
work, Luke. Peace.
Goodness gracious, Sean. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Poggers right there. Sean, very, very generous. 200 Australian didgeridoos. Thank you so much. We'll be listening in the car. Love your work, Luke. Peace. Drive safe, my friend. Drive safe. Why do we have a link to the live channel in the description? I don't know. That is weird. It should be the main channel. We'll have to swap that out. Interesting. Whippy, thank you.
Super chatted $6.04.
Booyah.
God damn it, Sean, stop making us all look bad.
I love it. And Zach, thank you, Zach, as well.
Zach Miklas super chatted $5. What's your thoughts on the Leslie Benzies new Game Everywhere game? The game idea seems super dope, but I do wonder if he can pull it off.
Everywhere game. Yeah, that was the one that we saw. Was it at the Summer Game Show? It was something like that. And it was, everybody was really confused as to what it was. It really seemed like it was going to be a really weird NFT thing one day ago. So they just revealed another trailer.
You have no idea how this tech has affected my
Whoop,
brain.
hold on.
This thing has ruined my life.
It's got the guy from Mafia 3.
It's activating. I know what I have to do.
Mind's Eye. Build a Rocket Boy. So, it's available in everywhere. A new world of endless possibilities, endless activities. Honestly, my perception is that it's basically like the Fortnite Creative 2.0 whatever thing that they just revealed, but it's in its own game. But I don't really understand how that's supposed to work. I don't know. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. But I don't really... I don't know. It's being sold as coming from a guy that used to work on GTA, which is awesome, but I don't know. I don't know if this is just me. I get really nervous when I see shots kind of like this or like this that are super close and tight with super heavy depth of field, because whenever I see that, it reminds me of like when Until Dawn or The Quarry or games like that aren't working quite right, and they just overload the depth of field because they don't want you to see all of the pop in and issues behind the character. So it gets me a little weirded out, but doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. Let's see. Fuzzy, Luke, I was watching your Last of Us review, and in the official podcast, they were saying the kissing scene with Tess was what would happen if you didn't fight against the zombies. Yes, I did see that, Fuzzy. Somebody commented that as well, and it was also saying apparently one of the writers was like, we just wanted to show that the fungus was not all about just violence for the sake of violence. It also was about just expanding itself and spreading. It's sort of like, it's not trying to hurt anybody, but it's just trying to survive. So the fact that Tess was already infected she basically was just brought into the fold using the symbolism of a kiss basically with another infected to show that it doesn't have to be a violent expansion of the fungus, but it often is violent, if that makes sense. So it sounded interesting. I still am not sure if I agree with it, because again, perception's more important than reality, and in this case I think most people's perception was that it was just a really weird scene. I don't think many people got that from it, which is for me is the whole point. I mean, if you're doing something in the show and nobody gets it, you might as well have not done it, because it didn't land. It didn't affect the audience in any way. Courier, thank you for becoming a member as well. Appreciate you. More cringe than heavy-handed, I think. It just, yeah, at the end of the day, it just didn't work. It just didn't work. I get the idea. Didn't work. Cool idea. Didn't work. You know? Your boy Luke was also featured in another another stream highlights thing. This one you guys will remember. We reacted to Daily Streamers compilation over here. It's since done very, very well. 1.4 million views, and Daily Streamer is a fan of the channel. Who knows? Daily Streamer might even be in here right now. I don't know. But Daily Streamer's been putting together these sort of compilation highlights from various streamers, and they've been popping off. They've been doing really, really well. Is he in here? I didn't see him recently in chat. I don't know if there's a user list on YouTube like there is in Twitch, but anyway, if you're not like following Daily Streamer, I follow him on my personal account as well. I mean, hell, why not? On my live channel, why not? If you're not following, go toss a sub. But been doing this, and it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Mark, thank you also for becoming a member. Appreciate you. Top right, 3 dots, participants. Oh, yeah, you totally can. I'm a pro. Oh, but it's only active chat participants, not necessarily everybody in chat. Oh, and it cleared my chat. God damn it, YouTube. It cleared the whole chat, dude. Look at that. It cleared the whole thing. Now it's okay. Okay, well now it's working. I don't know what the hell is happening. Let's see. Oh, Molly, I'm not Daily Streamer, but I'm here. Good. Good. YouTube slow but reliable. It's okay. Yeah. Steffi's like, no. Please stop bad-mouthing it. Anyway, but it was super cool to be put in a compilation amongst like Moist and Asmongold and all those guys. And it's just, this game, Forspoken, is a never-ending pot of content for real.
Oh, I do not want that. I really don't want to see it.
Come on, please.
I can't get over how easy this is.
Maybe have zero AI. Yeah, the AI is kind of brain dead.
It's just not good. I mean, across the board, it's just stupid decision after stupid decision after stupid decision after
Alright, I'm back. Need to know why it's bad. Well, I'm not far enough to tell you if it's bad or not. The dialogue's not very good so far, though. That's the main critique people have.
I mean, it just gets really cringy.
Do PayPal donations come through as an alert? I don't think they do on YouTube, but on Twitch they will. Yes. Well, specifically on Twitch, if you go through the tip button, which pays it through PayPal, so they don't take a cut of that because it goes through Streamlabs directly. But on YouTube, I don't think it will. If you toss a donation through PayPal, let me know and I'll pull it up on my phone, and when I see it, I'll give you the shout out and everything. But otherwise, it won't pop up. But on Twitch, when we're over on Twitch later today, it'll work. Jakundu, thank you.
Times it's just, if you get 10 hours and there's like 15 cringe moments, you're just gonna remember cringe.
I'll tell you this: it is not the worst game that's ever been made. However, is it the best game that's ever been made? I would not say that.
Okay. Well, I mean, well put, Asmon. Well put. Is it the worst game ever made? No. Is it the best? No. Really, really hard hitting right there. Love it. There we go. Again, they're setting the stage. Maybe it gets better. Let's just keep blasting through. The next time. Oh, look at this. Daly's even plugging the Twitch. Daly's ahead of it before I am. Man. Time you see me is going to be in a few hours time once I put in a little bit more time in the game, and we're gonna pop back and I'm gonna see if the game gets any better. It didn't get any better. Oh yeah, I remember we were building the Lego Titanic. We had the boxes everywhere. You see it's still in construction. Oh, simpler times, man. Yeah, dude, I tried with Forspoken, dude. I played that bit. I filmed the first like 3/4 of that video. And then I went away and I turned off all the lights in the studio. I just sat down and I grinded it out for hours. I think I put another like 5, 6, 7 hours in or something. I played it basically from like on that day from 9 a.m. until 9-10 p.m. or something. And I think I filmed this pretty late at night. I don't remember, but I filmed it pretty late at night. And so I gave that game every chance I could. And I just, man, it's tough. Didn't get any better.
Oh, we have to follow her again. Okay, thank God. Oh, and now I have to, oh, never mind. Now I can walk fast. Go to bed.
You can use this room whenever you like.
Okay.
And I'll prepare a change of clothes for you.
I guess it's time to fall asleep.
Jesus Christ, everybody's talking. Shut the f up! I'm going to sleep!
It is a really bad ambient track, isn't it? It's just it's really, really loud.
Now you look like one of us. But your shoes betray you.
These have gotten me out of a lot of scrapes. Where I go, they go. The kicks stay.
She still got her kicks on, so all this is pointless.
Still has her pants and her shirt.
She's got a cool
Here,
cloak.
describe a range of items that Frey can equip in order to improve her skills, stats, and abilities. You can change what you currently
Skip
have.
this.
All right, well, thanks for all the help. I'll see you soon.
I doubt there are many places for criminals to hide in a town this small.
I'll take 3 apples for free.
Maybe you should
Bitch.
grab an apple.
Oh, I actually am just...
Hey.
Okay.
We'll keep Frey's hunger.
I don't know what it is, but Moist, he just like casually predicts like, oh, I bet I'm going to do this. And every time it happens, it's crazy.
At bay.
Such a poet.
Oh my God. Already? Still stealing. She's stealing in another world.
All right, let's get going then.
Oh, let's talk to this
Fair
guy.
maiden, a moment, if you please.
Who said fair maiden?
Fair maiden, a moment, if you please.
My God, you nerd.
Lend me your ears. I have a fine song to play you.
Is this the one?
Bear in mind, again, this game apparently cost about $100 million.
Wandering Minstrel? Stay a while and listen.
Stay and listen.
Better not f it up.
This better be good.
Allow me to regale you with the ballad of the enormously clever person of Sipar.
Oh, you're f***ing it up.
Unearthly cries of its foul denizens. What manner of minstrel would I be? Did I not go wandering over hill and dale?
It is the Wandering Minstrel. Okay.
You, Bard,
Arrest him.
escaped criminals roam the streets, and still you do not cease your racket. There is a crisis afoot.
What do you mean?
Forgive me, but there is always
How does
a
that matter?
crisis afoot.
She's a guard, Frey. We need to get out of here now.
She's not a very good guard, clearly.
Don't you know there's an outsider on the loose? And she looks over, and this lady's wearing Adidas shoes and fucking
It'd be sweet to have like
jeans.
light up the Skechers.
Guess I'll be on my way then.
Wait, you. You're...
So sorry to see you go, fair maiden, but go you must. And quickly.
That was a little too close for comfort.
But we got away thanks to the fop.
Yeah, and
I don't know, but people are saying like, is this written for Gen Z? I think it's not written for Gen Z. To be clear, this is written for what old people think Gen Z likes, because there's a very vocal minority of Gen Z on like Twitter and Instagram, places like that kind of talk and act like this. And I think that older people who don't know any better think that that's just how everybody in Gen Z acts and behaves. And it's not. Like, most of Gen Z, and most of everybody else, by the way, looks at this and finds people like this insufferable. We don't, like, if I'm hanging out with somebody who acts the way she acts, I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to go. I don't want to hang out with them anymore. It's the bizarre thing. In college, I had this all the time where you'd go to a class and there'd be somebody who's just like a dried up, insufferable, like terrible person. They're just like a bitter, nasty, vindictive, spiteful human being. And then they're shocked when nobody wants to hang out with them. And it's like, yeah, because you're a spiteful, vindictive, troglodytic buffoon. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. You're not entitled to my time, believe it or not. If I don't like spending time with you, I'm not going to spend time with you. And if you're unlikable, I'm not going to like spending time with you. So I'm going to go somewhere else. You know, like, it's not that complicated. But so, like, maybe it is the case that this was written for Gen Z and they just did a really bad job of writing it. But I think that it's more that it's written for their twisted perception of what Gen Z is supposed to be, or what they think they'll like. And that's why it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Let's see. To be honest, the character is not vindictive or spiteful. I think she is very bitter. If we're talking about Forspoken, I think she's very bitter. I don't think she's very charismatic. I think she's quite unlikable. Part of that is because the timing of dialogue is bad. I grant you that. But also, we regularly only get to see her interacting with people and other characters in the context of, like, the cuff, basically, where she has this magical bracelet who's trying to be witty but just comes off as kind of annoying, and then she snaps at him regularly and is doing the sort of, what would the term be? What is the term for when you are just, it's not being like flippant, it's like cocky, arrogant, snide. I don't know, like the cuff is like kind of shit talking her a little bit while she's running around doing stuff, and then her response is snobby, maybe. I don't know. It's like she's created her own vibe, and it's just kind of cringe. Like, it's the kind of thing where somebody's making fun of you and they're like, yeah, well, watch this. It's like, chill out. Like, somebody who's trying to be really cool, or what's the term for somebody who thinks they're really, really cool when in reality they are just not at all? Obtuse, kickflip mentality, a poser. Poser to me would imply that somebody like knows that they are not that, but this is somebody who truly, maybe just a narcissist, megalomaniac. Yeah, it's because she really thinks that she's super cool, but she's just not. She's trying to be overly sarcastic. That's the other part of it too, is that the sarcasm that they have her engage with never lands. It just doesn't. Like, she regularly is going, you know, oh, that sounds like a great idea. And I don't know if there's also a term for that. Like, somebody who is super, super hyper negative all the time, but specifically through sarcasm. They're not actually being like negative by just being negative, but they are being negative by being sarcastic about the positive thing. It's weird, man. Just so much of this is like, yeah, a dick. I mean, really, it just seems like they just don't. It's what kind of concerns me. If they think that this is a likable protagonist, how out of touch with all of reality do you have to be to think that this is likable? You've got to be out there, man. Like sometimes I said this with Death Stranding. Sometimes in games there is just like a cultural difference or a language barrier or something that kind of causes issues. Like I think thank you, Mohammed, by the way, for becoming a member. Sometimes there's stuff like that where just the dialogue doesn't translate right, and so it comes off weird. I don't think that's what this is. I just think this is people trying to write a protagonist who are either totally incompetent writers or they truly do not understand what makes somebody likable. To the point where they are making somebody painfully unlikable and they don't realize it. Which is why, like, I really think that this game's negative reception came as a total surprise. I don't think these guys saw it coming even a little bit. I think they really thought they had something special on their hands. They dropped the demo and people are like, oh my God, she's so annoying. I really think that they had no idea.
That song. What the hell even was that?
I know.
I agree.
Is she still up here, I wonder?
What the hell
Well,
is
I'm
even
just
that?
glad we got away, man. Okay, let's go out of here.
Damn it. Well, that was a short trip.
What the hell did you expect?
How the hell did you get out of this dump anyway?
Climb up there.
Our magic parkour, probably.
I know a way.
Oh, jeez.
You been following me, kid?
No.
This is also, I know this is more subjective. I blame Horizon for this. In Horizon games, oh yeah, Tommy Wiseau, by the way, is making a new movie, and I'm very, very excited for it. But Horizon Zero Dawn cutscenes. They have a very specific thing that they do in these cutscenes that's super, super weird. And it's that they generate spotlights and area fill lights. They do like a 3-point lighting setup no matter where you are at all times whenever there's a cutscene. And it's meant to improve the lighting, make it look more cinematic in theory, but it doesn't always feel that accurate or good or contextual. It just feels like, oh, you're trying to light this. So no matter where you are in the world, there's going to be moments like this where the light is just it's too bright, it's too perfect, it doesn't fit with the scene, it just feels off. And in the context of everything behind, like right now, she's got a big light in her face, but it doesn't light the rocks behind her. And that doesn't look right because that's not where the sun is coming from. That's not what the actual light is doing. And so it just doesn't work. In other cases like this, in this cutscene, it works really, really well because the light is done a little softer and it just looks fine. But in other moments like these cutscenes here, it just doesn't look right to me. It just doesn't look right. It messes with my brain. And this is the same thing that Forspoken does all the time, where they have, every time you go into a cutscene, lighting changes. You can see like massive shadows. She should be standing in a shadow right now, but she is lit very, very well. So it just doesn't look right because your brain is like, there shouldn't be light there. You should be in the shadows, but you're well lit. And it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's because she's the chosen one. I guess, yeah, maybe you're right, Gavin.
But I'm here to help you.
And what's that gonna cost me?
An apple, maybe?
Sure. You seem hungry.
Fucking apples are that big.
She got tiny hands. It's like the Big Mac.
The miracle grow.
I don't know why they would have her eat the apple on camera in that angle if they didn't have an animation of biting the apple. Why not have her bite it from behind, you know?
Too many loading screens.
That's a good point, Asmund.
They would have her eat the apple.
Got tiny hands. It's like the Big Mac.
The miracle grow.
I don't know why they would have her eat the apple on camera in that angle if they didn't have an animation.
Yeah, it's just like, if you're going to do it, do it. And if you can't do it with the animations or model swaps or anything, then don't do it. Like, her biting the apple was not that important. But every time, it's like Angry Joe said at the beginning of this compilation, every time there's something that doesn't click right, it causes issues. Like, every single time, it causes more drama and more issues. Because if you play an hour and there's 2 really cringy moments and the rest is fine, you're only going to remember the cringe.
Of biting the apple. Why not have her bite it from behind? You know.
Too many f***ing loading screens. Too many awkward pauses. Cut it out.
This has been almost an hour now of just following NPCs back and forth, listening to exposition. I like games that are heavy on cutscenes, but shit, just make it one long cutscene. Stop making me slowly follow them back and forth.
All right, well, I got a split. You said you knew the best way out of this place?
Well, if you climb over that wall there, that should help you get to where you want to be.
Cool.
How do you get out of the city?
I'll keep the city safe while you're gone.
Well, if you climb over
Do that.
that wall.
Oh, wow. I should have had the pay-to-win cloak on here. Cinematic would have looked so much more immersive. Let's go put it on. Gear? Okay, all right. So, cloak, hooded cloak. Let's put this one on. Enter. Oh my god, bro. What the?
I love how this feels.
No one will ever like look at you as an outsider with that.
The cloak from Razer. I'll have to hit the people up at Razer and see if they can make an RGB cloak, guys.
Shut up.
I can't do that. Okay, we're gonna put this one on instead, okay?
Nothing special about this cloak.
Yes, no wonder it suits you so well.
Oh, got him.
Thanks. Wait, what?
Talk to her. Let's see what the interaction with
Tonta's blessings
NPCs.
be upon you. You are the escapee.
Run!
I beg of you, do not harm the children.
I can't use my powers.
Karate.
Buckets in. Did she say anything else?
Tonta's blessings be upon you.
Son of a bitch.
You are the escapee.
You are the escapee.
Alright. The great outdoors. This is God's country now.
Is it open world? Let's see how open
your
this
trust issues extend to the street urchin?
Because I've been there.
Bro, what happened to the graphics?
Let's just leave it at that.
Oh, it was loading. I'm about to say, like, what the f?
What the hell are these things?
I believe this is what happens when humans are affected by the break.
Then I can't kill them.
Why?
What choice do you have? It's either them or you.
Damn.
Are we back? Are we back? Sorry, we cut out for a minute. I don't know what it was. Again, like YouTube streaming, occasionally it's weird. We back? My thing says we're back. I'll wait till I get verbal confirmation, but we're back. Okay. I don't know what the deal is. Internet's not out. It's just sometimes YouTube servers kind of cut out and it takes a second. Anyway, we're back. But yeah, it's just if you establish it as a moral issue of killing these people, but you're like, hey, it's them or you. You just basically established that if you have the option to avoid combat, you're better off. That doesn't make that's bad. You're encouraging people, if they want to play moral, especially if you're trying to get them engaged in like the narrative, you just gave them a reason not to engage with the one system in this game that's actually pretty good, which is the combat. You just gave them a reason to avoid the one saving grace. When the easiest solution, I can spitball right now and just say, boom, easy. I have the fix. All you have to do. The stream. Try refreshing. I don't know. Oh man. Oh man. I'm not sure what's happening. Are we back? Now it says we're back. This is crazy, dude. It's just YouTube. Because everything else, the router, the server, this computer staying connected fine. The rest of the pages, because I still have chat updating. So it's not like the internet's cutting out. It's that like YouTube servers are plugging up and they are like preventing us from uploading. So it cuts out. Yeah, it's such a bad game. Even YouTube's trying to stop us from watching. Kind of feels that way, dude. Anything wrong with your latency settings? No, we like these settings are all to a T exactly what YouTube's guidelines request of streaming. And we don't normally have issues, but every once in a blue moon we'll be streaming And it will do this where it basically, like, YouTube servers must get congested, and they just kind of shut the gate for a second or two. You can't upload anything. It stutters the stream, and then it goes away. It's really weird. Yeah, Kazuma, we again, little shout out so everybody knows, we will be over on Twitch. See the pinned comment at the top of chat. We will be over on Twitch in a little bit. We'll be moving over there to play Resident Evil 4. So make sure to follow over there. Just click the link and I can give you a shout out because I have Twitch pulled up here. But yeah, follow over there because we'll be moving over there pretty soon, it looks like. Because this has problems. But with all this, again, I can fix this issue. All you have to do to say to the player who's taking the story seriously to get them to engage in combat instead of avoiding it is just go and say, okay, well, they're like trapped souls with this cursed thing. Just trapped souls. And if you kill them, they're not actually dying. You're releasing their soul. But right now they've been like possessed by demons, basically. So release their soul by defeating them in combat. Boom! Now you have a narrative reason to go do it. Easy. Easy. I don't know why they don't just do that. I'm just going to keep following and unfollowing to get multiple shout-outs from Luke. Oh, Imperium! You didn't have to do that. By the way, I did sign up for email notifications with Casa Bonita because I will be there on launch day, and I will meet Matt Stone and Trey Parker. I'm gonna do it. Why isn't my thing loading? Anyway.
Kill people? Okay.
So this is what Auden meant when she said people who come out here don't make it very far. They're everywhere.
Yeah, they
I'm
are.
sure they were nice people before, but come on.
Killing poor defenseless people.
Oh,
you know
thank
what
you,
it is?
Imperium. Very
These
generous.
people
Thank
weren't
you.
vaccinated, so they weren't allowed in the city.
Take a rat.
They weren't vaccinated. You're going around. Can you imagine if they put that in as the story? I wouldn't put it past them. If like the whole plot line around the people with leprosy outside the castle walls. Oh yes, those are the anti-vax. Dude, I have family members that would freak out and would be like, "Did you hear what they did in that latest video game? Unbelievable. Unbelievable."
This seems pretty overpowered.
Not a particularly exacting opponent.
Yeah, Casa Bonita, the place from South Park. It's a real restaurant, and they're reopening in May. We're getting close. And they sent out a tweet saying, if you want the latest updates from us, sign up for our email list. So I signed up for their email list. Like on my business email, my official email, because I will know when they're opening. I will know the earliest I can get there, and I will wait in line for 12 hours if I have to. We'll stream it from my phone. I don't care. We'll just hang out, but we're going to do it. It's going to be awesome.
You want me to make things more interesting for you?
There's something in there. I can feel it.
Then let's venture inside and see what it is.
Oh, is this a dungeon?
Oh, there's gonna be like challenge things, isn't it? Kill.
Still
X
awful on my
amount of
end the
enemies
moment you hit play. Oh, like in terms of the stream quality, my bitrate still says it's good. I don't know what the deal is.
Doing
then.
something specific.
We might have to move over to Twitch sooner rather than later if it's still
just
causing
like a
issues.
dungeon.
There's a dungeon. It's a sex dungeon?
I knew it was a real restaurant, but did not know that it was closed or bought up. Yeah, it's always been nasty. I've been to Casa Bonita a couple of times, and the last couple of times I've been to Casa Bonita, there's several rooms that just reek of sewer and like leaking sewage. So it just smells like a porta potty. It's horrible, and it's a restaurant. You know, it's bad. The whole restaurant also smells like chlorine, which isn't that appetizing. The food is way worse than even Taco Bell. And it's just dirty and kind of nasty. Everything's falling apart. Now, around COVID, they had problems and they shut it down. And then they went and they were bought up after COVID, a year or two later, by Matt Stone and Trey Parker, the creators of South Park. Right after they signed that $100 million deal with, I think, HBO. So they bought up the restaurant and they've been doing renovations on it for like a year, like millions, like well over 10 million. I think it's like $12 million in renovations. So they're redoing the water. So the water will be purified in a way that doesn't require any sort of chlorine. So it won't smell like chlorine anymore. They're doing something where they're having to redo all of the finishings in the downstairs area because there were multiple sewer line leaks that they never repaired, which is why it always smelled like crap. It probably was not legal to stay open, but they just did, and you know, it was a landlord special basically. They're bringing in all new equipment for the kitchen. They're hiring chefs. Like, they're going all out, and it's pretty awesome. There's a video from Casa Bonito where the owners talked about South Park. It seemed nasty there as well, and they wanted to make it look nice. Yeah, it seemed like they were out of their depth, honestly, and I think it was more that it just got away from them, and maintaining a restaurant that size and that scale is not easy at all. And so I think they just got stuck in their ways and they never really stood a chance. Will they decorate it in a South Park theme? I think they'll probably lean into the stuff mentioned in South Park, like, you know, Blackbeard's Cave, and they'll be doing a lot more stuff with the arcades and things. The cliff divers, they're making that a bigger deal. So they're doing a lot of stuff like that, but they're just trying to make it a good restaurant that you want to go to. Not just because it was in South Park, but also just because it's a really good restaurant, which I'm down for. And yeah, Proto, they're pretty crazy.
Somewhere underground, I think.
Here we go.
Such enthusiasm.
Feeling kinda heavy, but guess we better do this.
Oh, this is gonna be a big one.
Okay. Gotcha, bitch.
We got this.
Okay, now we put him in jail and we shoot him in his ass.
Oh man, it's just so bad. It's just so bad. Hello? Hello? Hello?
It's the first time and you didn't respond and he looks back and goes,
Hello? Oh, Moonlight, thank you. I broke my thumb yesterday. So I'm getting a cast tomorrow.
Moonlight Gaming super chatted $6.
Thank you, Moonlight. I appreciate that. Feel better.
I broke my thumb yesterday, so I'm getting it in a cast TMRW. Great content, by the way. Keep up the great work.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Yeah. I'm a sunflower. Okay. You went down? I love his hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Oh, you see that? What are you guys up to?
I don't know.
Just chilling?
We had a late morning. We might try to go to the park.
He's pointing. Oh, man. He's pointing at the statue of the collector's edition of the Order 1886, and he's pointing at the picture, or the dude, which is Sir Galahad, and he's saying Dada. He apparently thinks I look like Sir Galahad, or at least the collector's edition statue.
Yeah, facial hair. Both brunette.
Or
I see
white.
it. You're white.
Not this statue. It's the other one with this one. This is the one I have. Mine's in better shape than this one though. But he's looking at this and going, Dada. Maybe he's looking at this guy and going, Dada. I don't know. Sir Galadad. Yeah, you're damn right. Oh, what did you find? Game of Thrones. That's a good one. Daddy just finished rearranging this after your last trip. There you go. He is an agent of chaos.
Hey, Lachlan. Can you give Daddy a kiss?
Oh, can I have a hug? Thank you. Thank you. He's like, hold on, I gotta get a game. I gotta... Oh, man. Oh, goodness. Yeah. Well, you should. Do you want to sit for a second?
You want me to?
I don't know. Are you gonna start talking about hand stuff again?
I might. You're damn lucky that I talk about hand stuff. He does not find me funny.
What's he looking at?
Looks like Target o'clock for Nikki.
It's always Target o'clock.
Yeah. We went yesterday, so I'll give it a break today. But it might be a Starbucks in the park o'clock. As you do. You know. Living it up. Hand stuff in Target. You know it. That's a happy marriage right there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
She just digs herself into these holes every time.
I say it and then I'm like, oh. And then he streams for a couple more hours and I come back downstairs and I'm like, did I ruin our lives? Is it over? Oh gosh. There's a Starbucks in the Target where I live. There's always a Starbucks in the Target, but you know what? There's also a Starbucks in the parking lot usually of the Target. And I need that diversity in my life. I can't just go to one place. I need to say I've been multiple places in one day. Like, I know they did it out of convenience, but... Let's wife go to Target. It's a mistake. He tried it was like a couple of months ago where I was like, hey Luke, here's the option. And I give him options even though sometimes there isn't really an option in my mind, just to see if he loves me enough to make the right choice. And I gave him the option of going to Walmart or Target after we got Froyo. And he said Walmart to change it up. And it broke my brain. I think I got really upset. I don't think we went anywhere after Froyo. There was only one option. Oh, I haven't asked Luke this. Luke, would you still love me if I was a worm?
Sure, yeah. You wouldn't be able to go to Target.
I wouldn't be able to deliver hand stuff.
You don't know that.
You don't have arms.
Thank you.
They didn't say centipede, said a worm. Just saying.
A millipede.
You
Ooh.
almost left him guessing. I don't think he was even I think the honest answer is no. The other day we were in the car and I asked him if he would leave me for a fetus someday. And I was referencing, there's like the SNL sketch where it's like, meet your second wife. And he hadn't seen it, so he had no idea what I was talking about. Oh man. And he said no. And then reminded me that I'm in my mid-20s and that it's not a big deal, but I don't know.
It's like, you're very young. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but when we're 40, I'm not going to be as young.
Neither will I.
That is true.
What, doggies?
Oh my gosh. That sketch lives in my brain rent-free all the time. Let's meet your future wife.
Thank you.
She's 5. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
If you don't know what she's talking about, this is very confusing, and I'm
It's
sorry.
great. No, you need to look it up. I don't want to be like, stop watching my husband right now and go watch this. Don't do that. I mean, or do. Live your life. Don't let me tell you what to do. Do I play any games these days? I've been trying to find a new game. I've been trying to find something to get into again, or to get enough of a gap period to go back to one of my favorites. I've been waiting to go back to Witcher 3, but Witcher 3 was so long that I need a little bit more time. Like, I need to forget a little bit more so that the story's enjoyable again. And it's kind of the same with the Dragon Age. I was going to restart it, but it just hasn't been enough time. I could finish Valhalla, But that just feels like a death march at this point. Like it's never ending. And Sigurd's just mean. Like, why would I want to finish a game where Sigurd's just mean? Done everything right by him. I did not do hand stuff with his wife. And he's still mean. I'm not that kind of glutton for pain. I actually did finish Cyberpunk. I've gotten 2 of the endings in Cyberpunk. And with some of the buggy fixes, it was fun. It was a good time. And I mean, I really like the relationship quests with Johnny, even though Keanu's performance is a little weird in my opinion. But I don't know. We're figuring it out. I do find it hilarious that nobody's finishing Hogwarts Legacy. And I will add, I don't think I've actually finished Hogwarts Legacy. Witcher 3 10th anniversary video. I was probably there for it, to be honest. I experience a lot of these videos secondhand.
Okay, we don't eat the wax.
Oh, yuck. Good. I finished the main quests, and then I just didn't finish the game. Like, I got through the final boss, which a lot of people don't even get to the final boss, apparently. According to, what was it? It was Steam? Have you seen that?
I saw that article.
Don't hit that.
It's a red flag. I saw that article, but only like 25% of people have finished The Witcher 3. Like, 23% of people have finished Red Dead, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's in line with most story-driven single-player games. Oh, Lachlan thinks it's a red flag, though.
Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Yeah, it's the anime you didn't want to watch with me.
Oh. I've only ever watched one anime. I have a hard time getting into anime. I feel like you either like snap right in there and you're like, "Woo, this is amazing. I'm in for the ride," or the dubbing gets to you. And I think it's just because I can't focus. The dubbing gets to me. So that's meh.
Careful, we gotta leave that there, dude. It'll stay there.
You have to see Cyberpunk Edge Runners. You're gonna love it. But I can't even focus through a full episode of Survivor anymore.
Yeah, she pulls out her phone, starts browsing, it
I
triggers
don't
me.
browse. I play Candy Crush. It's called multitasking. Not only am I crushing candies,
Half attention to something.
I am also watching a show. Give it a shot for just an hour. I can give it 25 minutes. Pick the best part. I'll watch 25 minutes. Oh, I did watch rewatch New Girl. New Girl is so good. So good, so good. That was when we first started we had like a friend group in early college where we're all like, we're not gonna say we're good friends. Meh, meh, meh. Well, none of those friendships really exist anymore. And Luke and I obviously ended up dating. But in that friend group, I didn't know, one of the other girls in their group had like assigned everybody a person from New Girl, which was funny. And this was before this season finale, which is really cute. And they had, apparently because I was doing the acting modeling stuff out of the Denver hub, I was Cece and Luke was Schmidt, because why wouldn't Luke be Schmidt? Luke hasn't even really seen the show. He's watched a couple episodes. But no, it's funny. Anywho, I'm gonna take my baby to the park, because parenting.
Paper towels.
And he's gonna bring paper towels. Luke is more like Nick. Oh my gosh. Maybe cleanliness wise? Unless it's like something he's proud of, like this space. But otherwise, no, he's...
Oh, this is Daddy's lens.
He's pretty picky. And bougie. And fancy. Does he need a douche jar? Absolutely. Absolutely. Luke, do you need a douche jar?
I don't think I have a say in it.
I think he does. That was, I did tell him the other. What was it? I bought I was looking at buying him T-shirts, and I felt it. I felt a T-shirt he was wearing. That's what it was. I felt a T-shirt you were wearing, and I'm like, this is nice. And he goes, should be. It's Viore. Out of nowhere. I'm like, okay. It's a T-shirt. It's a T-shirt. Calm down. It's Viore. I have to wear 2/3 Viore clothing at all times, otherwise I melt. Okay, goodbye. Hey, Lachlan. Oh, you're reorganizing for Daddy?
Yeah, he's he has it split by Blu-rays and then games by platform. And that just doesn't make sense. So I'm just going to mix it all up.
Does he not understand that colors are in? We need to mix all the colors. Okay, Lucky, we're going to go to the park, baby. Can we go bye-bye? No.
No.
Okay, bye. I love you. Bye.
Oh, bye, dude.
Can you say bye to Daddy?
Bye.
Just show you
Doesn't even look back. He's just, I'm gone. Bye. I'll see you later.
Can you blow him a kiss?
Mwah. Thank you. Thank you. Have fun at the park. Or Target or Starbucks or whatever.
You don't listen to me.
You just said you're going to the park or Target or Starbucks? What? Oh, man. Oh, boy. He is a goober who also really likes taking things off of their spots. Anyway, Nikki and Lachlan moments of the stream are quickly becoming my favorite part of the streams. Oh yeah, no, you never really know what you're gonna get. That's part of the fun of it. You never really know. She does always panic when she comes down later. She's like, "Did I get
Today's
you
video
canceled? Did I get you canceled or anything?" And I'm like, "No." Let's see. Nikki just firebombs at Luke. Pieces out. Yeah. Let's see. David Arquette. I don't know who that is. David Arquette. Maybe I could see it. Especially here. I get it. Similar noses. Yeah, I guess so. I kind of get it. Oh man. Let's see. Was in the plans for a shoe. Oh yeah, the douche jar. Yeah, I've been thinking of getting maybe when we move to Twitch, because they have better tools for redeeming that. Maybe what we do is it's a channel points thing where you can redeem 1,500 channel points or something, and then I have to put something in the douche jar. Or maybe we have one of those things where it's donations go in the douche jar or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It could be fun. Let's see. I'm not ready for that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. The story is very sad and heartbreaking. I know next to nothing about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've always thought it was just kind of a weird Nickelodeon show. I know some people take it super seriously though, and hearing that they're also doing or taking direct inspiration from God of War is pretty interesting. What are we going to buy with the douche jar money? I don't know. I was thinking there could be something fun we could do with viewers, but I don't this is where my lack of experience watching Twitch will come out, or watching streamers. Cause I know there's a lot of streamers who have the spin wheels. I know there's a lot of streamers who have a bunch of different things that they do like that for increased interactivity with the stream. And I don't really know. Lego Fund. Duh. Oh, that's true. The Lego Fund. I don't know, but it could be fun to do something like that. Laura, hi from Switzerland. First time I'm able to catch you live. Nice. Awesome. I love it. I'm jelly. Switzerland, I'm sure, is gorgeous. I just want to go on a big tour. I want to go travel. Catching my way up through the stream on 2X. Just want to say thanks for the shout out. Oh yeah, Daily Streamer. I'm glad you're in here. Yeah, we've been having a good amount of fun watching that. And I mean, the fact that Forspoken is at this point already kind of a dead game. The studio was shut down. It did so poorly. And yet it's still so thoroughly like entertaining. I just, man, it's just funny. TMNT were big in the 90s, back when they were cool. Yeah, well, and that's why, like, I can sympathize why some people really, really like it. But for me, I'm like, I don't know. Luke, are you skeptical of Black Myth Wukong? I hope not. So what I will say is that I mean, of course, I'm skeptical of it. It's coming from a brand new studio that hasn't done stuff before. It's from a Chinese developer that's shown some really, really cool stuff. But in the past, there's been brand new Chinese studios that come around. Are you guys hearing that popping and clicking sound? Are you guys hearing that too? Or is that just on my end? If it's just on my end, that's better, because it probably means that I just have like some static something happening and I can fix that. But is that just on my end, or are you hearing that? Every once in a while there will be like a little and it's driving me a little crazy. Just on my end. Okay, good. That's easier to fix than if it was coming through for everybody, so that's good. And it means it's not a microphone issue. It means it's like something in line with the headphones and stuff. Is your phone close to any wires? No, everything's separated out pretty good. What I think it is I just have a rat's nest of cables. So I think there's probably one of the aux cables is going next to a power cable. And so I just have to mess around with it. Let's see. Anyway, but a douche jar would fix your end. Yeah, probably. I watched the 8-hour Uncharted marathon. Biggest surprise to me was that you think Naughty Dog will revisit the series in years' time. Still think that. I've always thought number 4 was the true end of it. What I mean by they'll revisit it, I think, is that they're going to try to do probably another spin-off or something. And it seems to be that's what's happening. They're doing another Uncharted game, but from another studio. So it's not going to be Naughty Dog. So I think that that's probably what's happening. I was thinking that probably Naughty Dog would eventually return to it with a secondary team, but apparently Sony's just giving it to another team entirely, not even pretending as though it's still Naughty Dog. Luke, I have channel redemption ideas for Twitch. Want me to DM? Yeah, DM. Do it. Will the Spotify playlist be updated? Oh, you mean with the Hogwarts thing? Yes, it will. Digital Variable, good morning, Luke. Is there any more news coming out of the Suicide Squad game? Nope, just that it was delayed until later this year, so it's no longer coming in March. And that's not going to be, I mean, they aren't going to be able to strip out the monetization stuff. I think they're probably delaying to polish, and then they're also going to figure out what the new marketing plan has to be. Because selling it as a co-op shooter with a battle pass and stuff, a live service game, is not working. Very, very negative reactions to it. So they've got to find a different way to frame it. And I think that's what they're going to be brainstorming. That's what they should be brainstorming, honestly. Jeff Grubb said it may be delayed till 24 and possibly longer. Really, dude? Oh, man. I wonder if I can find that. Jeff Grubb. Hold on. And it was probably with a timestamp even. Oh, I love it. Here. I love Twitter. I love when Twitter works.
Cause a panic or anything, but
I'm thinking of an awkward spot.
Listen, I don't want to like cause a panic or anything, but I've heard it's not even coming this year. I'm hearing 2024. Like I heard that earlier earlier this evening. I heard they're like, this is a delay. Like this is a bigger delay than is even being put out there. We'll see. You know, that stuff is hard to nail down for sure. I'll say that this source has always been a very good one, and Wow. Okay, let's go. Let's operate on that because I'm sure by now. I mean, this is news from earlier today. We don't have to like, let's talk about the freshest take. But let's assume it is 2024. What do you think is happening with this game?
Well, that's the thing.
My impression would be if they're delaying it a year. Bear in mind, it was supposed to launch last year. If they're delaying it another year, it's gotta be that they're trying to strip stuff out, right? Like if they're only delaying it a few months, they're just polishing and reworking marketing stuff. But if they're pushing it to 2024, spending another year on it, that's gotta be a pretty foundational rework. That or the game's like totally broken. I don't know.
Back when it was just, it's going to come out later this year, everybody was like, well, what can you do with that? You can maybe try to polish what you have more, but you can't make systematic changes. Now you're coming at me with this 2024 thing. I mean, is that what's in store? Are they thinking about systematic changes? Are they going to make this less of a progression-based looter shooter? What's going on?
I mean, props to them. What it could be, honestly, is it could be a combination of the really negative response, and it could also be that they're seeing the overwhelming success of Hogwarts Legacy as a single-player game that's just sold straight. And so they might be like, okay, well, if we want this to do well, we have to have that word of mouth, and that word of mouth is not going to come with the game as it is now. So we've got to rework it. And maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know. How do you... Hold on, where is it? Moonlight, I did read your dono. Unless there was another one, like a second one. Oh, I see. Okay, no, there was a second one. I missed it. Thank you for the £2, my friend. Appreciate you. What color do you think I should get my cast tomorrow? Green. If it's your thumb, I mean, yeah, it is your thumb that broke. Because then you can say that you have a green thumb. There really is only one answer. Let's see. Luke, you can also make channel points be redeemed to play sound bites like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I'm vibing. Ooh, I do like that. That could be super fun. I like that. He keeps teasing Twitch, but staying here. Well, we'll be over there. I think probably we'll wrap up this news story. I want to touch on a couple other things, and then we'll move over to start playing the game. Let's see. Where is it? Also, how do game journalists get sources? Real question. Basically, how it's happened for me before is that somebody will just like straight up email me. They'll look on my link tree, they see my business email, and they'll just reach out. I'm not reaching out to people, and I don't think these people are reaching out to people. I don't think Jeff is reaching out. But it's sort of like a cyclical thing where Jeff Grubb gets one source, he reports something saying, hey, somebody at Ubisoft told me this. And then other people that work at Ubisoft see that, and they're like, oh, so I can go to Jeff. So they go to Jeff, and they talk to him, and then he has more sources. And then somebody sees that, and they're like, oh, I work at Rockstar. Let me go to Jeff. And they share stuff with Jeff. Because once you get to a certain point, and especially once there's a certain amount of notoriety around a games journalist like Jeff Grubb or Jason Schreier or one of those guys, you're going to start to see more and more people go to them. So that's pretty common. And so for me, like, it's just people reach out, and then if before I make any videos or do anything, I ask, for verification. What a lot of these guys will do is they'll ask for, they won't talk about something until it's been verified by 2 sources at least. So in this case, it sounds like Jeff is saying this guy that has told him this latest news about a 2024 delay has been right before and is very reliable. So he has trust in them. But normally if it was somebody out of the blue, you'd wait till you have 2 sources at least. But
it feels like they could do a lot more in that amount of time. But even then, what is a lot more compared to the fundamental structure and bones of that game? You would need like 2 years, 3 years to really completely rework everything.
How many more years do you want to devote to freaking Suicide Squad?
I'm sure it helps that Hogwarts Legacy made a lot of money, but that's not usually how these things work. It's like, well, now you get a free pass to take as much time as you need. Like, no, you still have to deliver your game on a reasonable timeline. Feels kind of, yeah. I think they know that what they have feels kind of rotten to most people, and that they probably also have some fun gameplay there. People always like point out, hey, the hopping around looks kind of okay. Or some people are like, no, that looks like a fun game. It's just like, then you see the big screens of Captain Boomerang with all the numbers and the loot and the big gun and the stupid look on his face. And it's like, that just like, it's like, if that is a significant portion of the game, maybe there is a way to rebalance and retool it. So it's like that stuff is lessened. It is maybe more streamlined. It's like, let's just not let that stuff get in the way at all and find a way to make sure that stuff just enables the fun stuff. And if the game's not there right now, maybe they can get it there with a delay of almost a year. But I don't know. It also just feels like this game was a bad idea from the ground up at a certain point. And I don't know. I certainly don't know what you do, or else I'd be making more money than I do.
That's
yeah. Well, there is no way to fix a bad idea. Like, if it's a bad idea, it's just a bad idea. It really is as simple as that. And in this case, I think it may just be a bad idea, because the game was formulated back in 2017 as a live service, always online, 4-player co-op shooter and looter shooter. And even in 2017, when this was really getting going, that was already kind of something people were getting burnt out on. So it was greenlit, and they've spent millions upon millions upon millions of dollars working on it. And now it's come out and people have seen it and they're like, this isn't what we want. We don't like this. And there's just no way to really, okay, fixed. We just cut that out. No, because the whole gameplay loop is tied to that. The whole gameplay loop is tied to going in here, getting these weapons, upgrading these, and then adding these tweaks and doing this. And like I said in my video on it, there are some people that will freaking love this game. I have friends that will freaking love this game as it is, because they love the looter shooter thing. They love the grind of it. They like playing through the same missions over and over and over again to get better gear. This is a very... for some people, this is great. For a lot of other people, like Jeff said, it just doesn't sit right. It just seems gross. It doesn't... I think the word he used was rotten. Yeah, it's Caleb. It's Caleb. I love Caleb. I love Caleb to death. But, we make fun of him for his taste in some games. He likes games that a lot of other people don't tend to like. He's fine with grinding out For Honor for days on end. And I'm kind of jealous, honestly, because life would be a lot easier, and I would like playing a lot more games if I was able to just be like, oh yeah, no, it's kind of stupid, but it's fun. Rocky, you can't say, yeah, he's like me. Play Destiny, by the way. You can't just lead right into that. Let's see, Whippy. Luke, I think, honestly, in my opinion, Anthem killed the live service. Everyone kind of had enough at that point, and everything since then has just been like, oh God, another one. Yeah. And I think, I'm trying to think of really, there are good live service titles, games that are always online, games that are constantly changing and evolving. Games like, love it or hate it, Fortnite are huge. Warzone's huge. Apex is huge, but those are very much exceptions to the rule. And I think part of the stink that comes with live service games is that people see them and people just sort of reactively, impulsively see it as a cash grab. It just seems extra desperate. It's like when a YouTuber drops merch that's super lazy and that's horribly overpriced. Yeah, we have these Jake Paul t-shirts that are $150. And if you don't get one, then I guess you're not a real fan. And they drop that for teenagers to go and spend all of their money on. And it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. That's what live service games are. They just, no matter how good they are at their core, it's still just is stinky. Still just bad.
That's kind of the thing, Jeff, is there's a part of me that's just man, what can you do? Just release it. Let the cards fall where they will, and let's move on. Whatever this does, we can't close down Rocksteady if this is, a flop or what have you. But
right.
Guess what? Is this real? Man, I mean, that was a bad showing at State of Play. It's interesting that it's maybe such a bad showing that we're talking about delaying this game for, over 6 months.
Yeah. And that seems to be the story, is that
what it could be also, I mean, have they said who? I don't know what involvement like Sony has on this. Of course, they paid for marketing rights, but PlayStation just took a bath with Forspoken. I think they paid a lot of money for Forspoken, and they ate it on that one. That was bad. And so now they might be in a case where they're looking to try and make it back, and they're like, you know what was just shown off is not gonna do it. Where's the PlayStation trailer? Was it? No, that was the Batman reveal 1 month ago. 427, 2.9 million a year ago. Behind the scenes. 2 years ago, 1 month ago. Yeah, 22,000 dislikes. I mean, these ratios, they kind of speak for themselves. Did they take down the video? Let's see, who's... Oh, it's the DC one? Okay. No, but which the new one? PlayStation, still positive. Yeah, Suicide official co-op gameplay. From PlayStation. Upload. Did they delete it? It doesn't show up anymore. Did they really delete it? No way they deleted it. PlayStation. 1 month ago. Is this the same one? I thought it had way more views than this. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't. I thought it was gonna have millions of views, but I guess it doesn't. I mean, you don't have to be a marketing genius to figure out that this is not ideal. That this is an oopsie. And bear in mind, most people who are disliking this don't have this Chrome extension. Most people are just hitting the downvote. Like, the reason that YouTube got rid of the downvote view bar where you can't see this, the reason they got rid of it is because when people see something like this, they're far more inclined to also dislike it, to jump on the hate bandwagon. And YouTube wanted to avoid that, so they got rid of it. If you still have a like to dislike ratio this bad, you're talking about a huge issue. Really bad. I mean, just look up in the Chrome store. It's like YouTube dislike, return dislike for YouTube is what it's called. Return dislike for YouTube. It's just not good. Man. Let's see. They got rid of it to protect corporations. I don't buy that. I think it's honestly just that they didn't like people hopping on hate bandwagons and mass flagging stuff. You could say it's because of corporations. Like, corporations definitely benefit from this, don't get me wrong, but so do smaller YouTubers that might be posting videos that get mass flagged. And I think part of it, honestly, is that YouTube's algorithm tends to make a lot of recommendations based on engagement, likes, and dislikes. So what was happening is that videos were getting received poorly, and then were getting mass downvoted. But that YouTube's algorithm would view as good engagement, so it would recommend it to even more people. So then you'd have a viral video that's going viral purely based on people hating it. And they didn't want that to happen, so they tried to delay it as much as they could. But I don't think it really fixes the problem. I don't know, man. It's such a bummer, because it could have been really cool, but You guys remember, I've been saying for years something about this game was stinky. And now we're seeing it. It's also, they've got in a couple spots, they have marketing materials that say that it's open world, but then they show stuff like this that does not look open world. And the combat, I'll be real, this stuff here doesn't look very good to me. Like the weird shield pop out things. This looks very like Xbox 360. It's just odd. Like I think you could have fun with it, but it just looks really outdated. Yeah, these ammo drops here. The lighting I don't think looks that great, especially compared to Batman Arkham Knight. The purple stuff, everything looks like a weird reskin for Fortnite. The lighting on him doesn't look right. I don't know, man. It's not about it. Yeah, shoot the bubble points on the tank. Yeah. Luke, what game did you grind the most in your life? I don't know. I played a hell of a lot of Warzone back in the day, but I have not played like any of it recently. I mean, I really have not messed with it. For obvious reasons. I mean, it became pretty terrible. But before that, I mean, I played a lot of like simulation games. I've really liked. Recently, I've really enjoyed going through Kerbal. I really like me some Kerbal Space Program. Give me a new Batman game or a new version of Gotham, bigger city, car, Batman. Oh, yeah, exactly. City Skylines, I did play a lot of City Skylines. I will say the traffic system gets super annoying later in the game, especially once you have a city even decently sized, it's a nightmare. So one thing I hope they fix in the sequel is make the traffic system a little less tedious. Like, I get it, it's good, and I could say like, hey, make it less realistic. Maybe that's the solution, but it's just like once you get a decently sized city, the whole thing is just figure out how to manage the roads, and that's it. Like nothing else matters. It gets really, really annoying. Redfall preview gameplay. Yeah, we listened to Maddie's take on it. So like Denver, yeah, exactly, Rotten. Have you seen ray tracing for Elden Ring? I have the thing pulled up. We'll probably look at it. We'll bounce over to Twitch and we'll check that out. Explain the fun in simulation games. I never got it. Honestly, to me, it's just super satisfying. I'll be real. It's just really satisfying to start from nothing and then end up with sort of a machine that's just humming along that you built. It's really, really fun. And as for Kerbal, like, you literally are building a spaceship and then you can fly out to the moon or to Pluto or straight into the sun and you're solving these problems as you go. It's really, really cool. It's literally rocket science and I love it. Yeah, they are working to remove the online component of Redfall. Always online component to Redfall. Yeah, I did see that. That seems interesting. Oh man, back in the day playing some SimCity, Roller Coaster Tycoon, Zook Tycoon, those were the days. Yeah. Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. Man. Those were the days. I agree. Where are the Kerbal streams? I think, Steffi, what we're going to do is like when I'm doing reactions to stuff like we've been doing today, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start having the game on in the background so I can play the game while we're doing the reactions, and then we just kind of double up on it, because why not, you know? I've seen some streamers do that. I think Moist has done that. Destiny does that. I think I've seen Asmongold do it a few times, where you just have the game you're playing and grinding. You're playing through it, but then you have in a pop-up window the reaction going. You know, why not? Let's see. Oh, are people bullying Rocky? Is that what Rocky's going on about? Are the alerts closed again? They shouldn't be. Did something happen? Oh, God. Oh, Rocky. Thank you. I'm so sorry, Rocky. See, the alerts are just all over the place, man. It's really weird. I had it for free. Didn't know what to do with it. So I'm going to just say install Destiny. Well, thank you for your membership, Rocky. I appreciate you. You got to make that count. You got to make that count. You really do. Oh, Doki Doki. Yeah. Waifu Simulator. Yeah. Doki Doki Club, man. That was a weird one. Which problems have I overcome in life in the past 3 years? Which are problems I've overcome in the last? Oh. Because of malnourishment and needing to shower, which are all problems that I've overcome. Well, that's good. That's good. God, that Doki Doki stream was brilliant. I was braced for something really scary and horrible to happen, and then like nothing really satisfying ever happened. It was just like, yep, okay, well, it's over. It's really weird. Yeah, the City Skylines 2 announcement trailer was like, it was fine. It was fine. Like, I really didn't think that it told us anything. Let's be real. It didn't give us any info, but still fine. Real quick, everybody, what we're going to do, because YouTube's continuing to have weird little issues, such as notifications not working and all sorts of stuff, we are going to bounce over to Twitch and start playing Resident Evil 4. I heavily recommend you bounce over to Twitch with us, just at Luke Stevens TV. Head over, hit the follow button. If you have Amazon Prime, you can sub for free, so no ads or anything. Super cool. And we will bounce over there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to restart the computer and go pee, and then we're going to boot up over there on Twitch and go from there. And we're going to start playing Resi 4. It's going to be fun. I'm a noob. I've never played. It's going to be kind of crazy. Kind of braced for it. But we're going to see. Elitist Momo TTV just posted first in chat. Boom. Sure are. Sure over. Head over there. I will be back shortly. We will do that. Much love to everybody who donated. Sean for the POG, the play of the game today with the 200 Australian didgeridoo donation. That was awesome. And I'm going to be over on Twitch here in just a minute. So see you over there in a second. Much love. Stay safe if I don't see you over on Twitch, but head over to Twitch. Rocky's posting the links in chat. It's also pinned in the top of chat here. So head over there and we will see you there very, very shortly. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye.